Hey lovelies, welcome back to the Zhené community. If you're new here, I'm Tia.
And I'm Leah.
We are the Zhené sisters, mindset and manifestation coaches.
Here on this channel, we talk everything mindset and manifestation. We are helping you rise and reach your truest potential, simplify manifestation.
Remember guys, if you want to work one-to-one with myself and Leah, all links are in the description box below. In this video, we're going to talk about stop reinforcing your disbelief and what that actually means. So stay tuned.
I'll be your light.
I think this is a great place to start, because when you are reinforcing your disbelief, what you're essentially doing, you're identifying and you're going to keep permeating behaviours such as checking the 3D, not trusting in what you're creating. And really, when you're doubting your ability to manifest the things you want, you're truly denying your power as a conscious creator. You're denying the self-trust in yourself to believe that you can manifest what it is you want. So we're going to talk about that in this video. We're going to go through what actually is you doubting your disbelief and how can you kind of stop it.
Yeah, for sure, because you know, when we are constantly checking the 3D, we're working on ourselves, but we're doing it from the standpoint of like, I need to do this work in order to see movement, in order to see things showing up in the 3D for myself. You are just reinforcing yourself disbelief. Basically, you are reinforcing a state and a version of yourself that says, I'm not trusting in my ability to create, I'm not trusting I'm the operant power. And then what do we need to do in those moments? We need to recognize when we're doing those things, or we're looking for validation or proof in the 3D that everything we're doing is working, rather than being our own source and supply of that and saying to myself, no, I trust what I'm doing is working, I am the operant power, I get to say what goes, I am a master manifester, I'm limitless. Whatever you need to say to yourself to reinforce your belief system that says I create my reality, rather than your disbelief that says I need to keep checking the 3D, I need to make sure that things are moving and conspiring in my favour and blah blah blah. But really, in that moment, you're not trusting in yourself. You're not trusting in yourself as the creative, you know, the creator of your reality. And it's really shifting hats then to notice when you are trying to look at the 3D and be in disbelief, to then shift yourself into your creator seat and be like, no, I'm noticing that I'm looking at a 3D, I'm wanting validation from the 3D, and I'm not trusting where my true power is, which is in my mind, and changing my thoughts and directing those in my favour.
Yeah, in the moments, the best thing for me in taking my power back is acknowledging 3D and time for what it really is. One, our 3D is old. It's our old dominant thoughts playing out as a physical manifestation of what's been going on in our mind. Two, time. That is just a man-made construct. Time is an illusion. It doesn't actually exist. Everything comes at its own appointed time in relation to us, and when we have kind of embodied the state more dominantly of us having our desire and not living in a state of resistance. So when you're living in a state of resistance, essentially what behaviours, and I think this is really a great place to acknowledge, what behaviours or habits might you be adopting in? Is it checking your SP messages and Instagram and seeing what they're doing? Is it stalking them? Is it checking your bank balance and seeing like how you've spent all your money and how like no more money has come in? Is it checking your email list to see have you got an email back from that job that you want? Has your boss replied to you? Have you got the promotion? These are all physical manifestations of you not believing and distrusting in yourself and your manifestation ability. So like Leah said, when you are adopting these behaviours, the way we stop the permeating cycle of going in and keep doing this is to disrupt it. Bring your conscious awareness to the behaviour that you're doing and ask yourself, in that moment, is this the version of me that has the desire? Who am I without this trigger? Who am I without this habit? And for me, it goes back to, I am powerful, I am secure, I am trustworthy in myself. If I am living from the version of myself that has this desire, would I be identifying and would I be continuing to do this behaviour and thinking those thoughts? Because how do we then start showing up differently? We start to change our identity. We start to embody a different version of ourself. We start to have the conscious awareness of where our mind is going and what we're identifying and the behaviours and the habits that we're performing out in the 3D. Once you do that and you have the conscious awareness of this, you instantly take your power back, because you're no longer operating from your programs that is making you essentially continue contributing in them self-sabotaging behaviours.
Yeah, of course, because obviously we want to disrupt the pattern, like Tia said, and I know this was a big thing for me on my journey in checking the 3D, whether it be like the things Tia listed, checking social media or bank balance or whatever it is that you're manifesting, checking those things and thinking, is there movement, is there change, what's going on, when really it's that inner transformation, as we always say, like you have to continue to just work on yourself, and when you want to go and do those things, you have to disrupt that pattern. You have to keep saying to yourself, no, I'm going to do this instead, whether it's going to stabilize yourself with doing EFT tapping or breath work or journaling, whatever it is, going for a walk, phoning a friend, whatever it is you need to do for yourself to disrupt that pattern. So the more you continue to disrupt the pattern and show up for yourself in a different way, you know, or affirm your self-concept, whatever you need to do for yourself, that will become less and less. And as you continue your self-concepts and working on your beliefs, as that continues to improve, those behaviours become less and less, and you won't need to engage in them anymore because your identity is shifting, your perceptions are changing, your assumptions are changing as a result of that. So this is what we mean by, you know, stop reinforcing that disbelief, because every time we check something, we are installing an identity within ourselves and saying to ourselves, I still don't have this thing.
Yeah.
You know?
So once you consciously, and obviously it's a journey, guys, because you've been adopting, you've been persisting with this behaviour and this thinking and all the other stuff that essentially isn't in alignment with the version of you that has the relationship, has the career, has the money, is fully booked, has the successful business. So then you're going to want to start, first and foremost, stabilising yourself. Perfectly what Leah said. Have your go-to things that you can pull out when you need to stabilise yourself in the moment. Is it your self-concept? Is it a rampage? Is it EFT tapping? Is it breath work? It's not a one-size-fits-all, so I can't pull out the perfect thing and give it to you and be like, go try this. Try different things in the moment. I know for me, it's really getting out everything I have in my head and shining a light on where my dominant focus has been going, and then doing the complete opposite and generically saying words to myself like trust, power, money, ease, abundance, whatever it is that's going to really soothe me in the moment. Go listen to our affirmation rampages if that's what works for you. Do your affirmations in relation to your self-concept. Like whatever it is you need to do to stabilise yourself in the moment is how you break the pattern. And as Leah said as well, the intensity, the frequency and duration of you engaging in those behaviours, them habits, them thinking patterns will start to lessen and lessen. All we're wanting to do to stop enforcing this disbelief is just to start tipping the scale, just to start consciously operating and connecting with the version of us that doesn't do that anymore. Once you start consciously shining a light on these things that you're doing, you're able to recalibrate, you're able to, do you know what, I know that's not what I want to engage in right now, that's not going to serve me. What is it I do want to engage in right now? What is it I want to redirect my mind to focus on? And once I start dominantly doing that, that's when I start to dominantly embed it into my self-concept, my identity, and I will start perceiving, behaving and operating essentially differently because my lens has changed.
Yes, exactly, that lens does change. And when you go to check the 3D or reinforce that disbelief, ask yourself in that moment, why am I feeling I need to do this? What is the real root cause here? Am I feeling like I'm not going to get what I want? Am I feeling that if I don't go check, I'm feeling disconnection, I'm feeling like this person's not going to come back, I'm feeling like I'm never going to have enough money? Like, it's always letting you know when you're feeling triggered or needing that validation to go and check something and reinforce that disbelief. The trigger is letting you know, or the pattern and behaviour is letting you know, really it's something to do within your core self-concept, it's something to do within your belief system, and that's what you need to soothe yourself and recognise in that moment, right, I'm fearing I'm not going to get what I want. So in that moment, just recognise the thoughts that you're having, recognise the emotions, because we know our thoughts create our emotions, recognise yourself in that moment and do any modalities and tools you need to do for yourself, breath work, inner conversations, meditation, whatever it is. We listed a whole heap there, but figure out what works for you and stabilise yourself, and then come in with a self-concept, and then, you know, just shut the pattern and go and do something else, basically, and that will start to get easier and easier over time.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, you'll process it in the moment, but get back on the horse. That's how you take your power back, by having the awareness. And the only way, and you're ever going to prove this to yourself, is by you starting to embody this new version of you and actually do it. Start thinking differently, because everything essentially comes from my mind. And I just want to have the observation of, I have so many clients come to me and they're watching all the videos, they're jumping from coach to coach. You can be actively listening and watching all this content, but you're not actively embodying it. There's a difference. If you can have the conscious awareness for yourself and be honest with yourself and be like, do you know what, I've been watching all this content about manifestation for a while, but have I actually sat down and gone over my core work? Have I actually maybe booked a coaching session? Have I, all the content as well is on our channel for free. Have I actually maybe addressed some of my core beliefs in relation to this thing I want? Have I actively acknowledged the trigger that is trying to teach me something, and then consciously redirected my mind and focused on what I do want? That is what the work is. When you consciously, as a conscious creator, show up for yourself and be like, do you know what, 3D's an absolute shit show right now. I'm feeling triggered right now by this certain situation. I'm about to engage in a disbelief and disengaging, disempowering circumstance and behaviour right now, but I have a choice in this moment to take my power back and persist in what it is I do want for myself.
Because it's going on, you know, what do you now prefer?
Yeah.
You always have a choice to shift your focus, remind yourself of your power and say, okay, I see this is happening, I see it for what it is, I know it doesn't have any control over me, I know it's old, I know that what I'm doing and everything I'm doing is working, and I know my 3D is going to conform. I just have to keep installing my belief in myself, my trust in myself, knowing that my 3D is going to conform. And how I do that is I keep reminding myself every single day of my power and me being the conscious creator of my reality and the operating power, knowing that I am limitless, I'm the master manifestor of my reality, I'm assigning the roles, writing the script, I'm the director, the author, the producer, and what I fucking say goes. So it's just reminding yourself of that every time you want to try and do these engaging behaviours that are just going to keep reinforcing that disbelief. Shift it to focus on believing in yourself, trusting yourself, knowing what inevitably what you want is already yours.
Yeah.
Okay? So we just wanted to do a video here and touch on that. So obviously, if you want to work with myself and Tia and dive deep into this and have more accountability and explore more within yourself and have a plan, you can work with myself and Tia one-to-one. We do offer a coaching. The link is in the description box down below for that. Also, you know, just keep going with this. You've got this. We always say that
You've got
constantly.
You have. You want to start installing that natural assumption, I've fucking got this.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything's always working out for me.
Yes. So be sure to subscribe, share and like. It helps us reach as many people as possible. And we have a new membership launching soon enough, where you can join monthly and work with myself, Tia and Tia. We've got a link down below and you'll be able to see obviously what comes in that membership and what support is there available with myself and Tia each month. And we show up with like-minded people, and you can have spotlight coaching, and we're building a community of people that can help and support each other as we level up all together.
Exactly.
So we will see you in the next video.